What's up? Welcome to the unofficial Tedeschi Trucks podcast. This is episode number 126, and I am Adam Choit. To follow the show, it's at Tedeschi Trucks Podcast on Instagram and on YouTube. Just search Tedeschi Trucks Podcast. If you're watching, you are already there, so please be sure to subscribe. I definitely appreciate that. Just go to TedeschiTrucksPodcast.com for everything related to this show. That has all the social media links and ways to listen, ways to watch, links to all the band's official stuff as well. So definitely check that out. AdamChoit.com for all my personal stuff, my personal social media. I'm at Adam Choit on Instagram, Twitter, if you want to follow me. Let's get into today's show. We are going to be recapping 4 of them. If anyone went to the Michigan, Rochester Hills, Michigan show, comment, hit me up or something. Maybe we'll get someone on to recap that one. I got the set list in the poster, so we'll take a look at those from this show, those from that show as well. But we have Erin, Jack, and Alicia and Matt. Is it Alicia or Alicia? I'm terrible. You can correct me when you come on and let me know about that. But Erin went to Canandaigua. I learned how to say that before we got started. That was July 11th. And then Jack went to Toronto on the 13th. Alicia and Matt last night in Indianapolis. So let's bring them all in and let's talk about this last week of TTB shows. How we doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. We got four new newbies here, first timers. That's super cool, super fun for.
Not only new, but new.
What do you mean?
You just said we had new newbies. So
yeah, well, I'm just a stuttering freak. No, not usually. Enough, a little bit sometimes. I'm just excited. That's what happens. But again, thank you. I appreciate it for sure. We could go around the room and you just tell me how you're kind of like your music background, what you grew up maybe listening to, and do you play music? How'd you find TTB and how many shows you've been to? And we'll go around the room. Let's start with Erin, then Jack, and then Alicia and Matt.
Yeah. So basically, I grew up listening to great music, basically because of my dad, and he's just all the bands that we used to listen to growing up. I just remember the blues and rock and roll and all that good stuff. So that basically is where it all started from. We listened to a lot of Canadian bands in our family too. So basically my dad is the one who introduced my mom to the Tedeschi Trucks Band, who introduced me. And so we've all got that music, that love for this kind of music. And growing up, playing different instruments, violin was a big one. I had great teachers that would have us play Jimi Hendrix songs on violin and stuff like that. So it's all coming from a young age, a young start. So, but I've been really, really loving Tedeschi Trucks Band since I was probably like 18. I'm 27 now. So, I just love them so much. They really speak to me, their music. Yeah.
Super cool stuff. How many times have you seen them live?
So the first show, actually, I was at Art Park. I've been to 5 shows now. And each one, like, I just keep getting closer. And the last show, we were very front row, and it was just like, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Very cool. Yeah, we could just continue, keep going with the conversation right there. But Jack, tell me about your TTB history and your music background and all that.
Well, I've always liked blues like that. I really like Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Allman Brothers, like stuff like that. I believe I got into them by my dad, who played Midnight in Harlem for me. but I can't quite remember. I believe I found them on my own, but I've liked them for a very long time, and pretty much all I listen to now is them.
Yeah, you're a young man, and similar perhaps age even to Erin. So like you've been listening to TTB or maybe even younger, like since you were a kid, like when, like, because it doesn't sound like
I'm only 18 right now. So
yeah, man, damn, you are young as
Oh
fuck.
my
They're
God.
laughing. Look, they're mad at you for being young. I'm not mad. I'm just wrong about guessing your age. They mad in the bottom left corner.
You have good taste. You have good taste, young man. You have good
I know.
That
Yeah.
is awesome.
They laughing.
It really is, honestly, because like I love seeing younger people at the shows too. It's so great.
Yeah, I got very front row, right by Gabe and Derek, practically
yeah.
an M2.
Do you play music yourself or any?
I play slide guitar. Yeah.
You play? Oh, I got it. I remember if I've seen you on Instagram somewhere. I feel probably watched your videos. I feel bad if I haven't. If you posted stuff, I'm curious now. I'm of course curious to check that out. Amazing.
I posted a few, but I believe I took them down.
How long? How long have you been playing guitar and slide guitar for?
8 years.
8 years. So
Yeah.
so this is a question. How do you? I need to ask this. I probably did ask other slide guitar players and Derek fans this that I spoke to, but how do you like? Because you obviously he is an inspiration to
Very
players.
much. Yeah.
So how do you almost like create your own thing without like sounding like too much
Patience.
like
A lot
yeah.
of patience. Yeah.
It's so hard.
Just like getting the scales down and like putting on your own backing tracks and messing around with that, see what sounds good to your own ear. That's what I done.
Yeah, you find your own style and what works. Very,
Yeah.
very, very cool. That's cool that you, because I like to especially talk to musicians as well, because like, because they have a different, deeper understanding for some of the specific, the nuts and bolts of the music itself, the theory, and some of the how things are actually working. I'm like somewhere in the middle of all that because I play guitar just like for fun and all that. I'm not like, and I tried slide guitar for a minute, but I never really stuck with it.
Yeah.
We got a multi-instrumentalist in the top right corner there, so that's cool as well. Erin up there, Alyssa, is it Alicia or Alicia?
It's Alicia because I'm from Georgia, and so that's a little southern pronunciation of it. So I guess I have seen probably over 2,000 concerts. I started seeing music in 1980. My parents listened to rock and roll. They were big Allman Brothers fans. In fact, when I was little, my mom dressed me and my brother up like the cover of Brothers and Sisters and had our picture taken in like little prairie outfits and the fall leaves and all that stuff. So, I just grew up with that and started going to concerts. And I saw Derek. He was probably like 10 years old, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old the first time I saw him. Probably with the Allman Brothers, and I saw him on a little tour that he did, and I've also seen Susan solo since the beginning, and so it was just natural. I saw the Swamp Family tour in 2008, and and before that, I saw them together at Crossroads, Eric Clapton's Crossroads Music Festival, and so I was just pleased as punch when they created TTV, and I've been to, I think last night was number 20.
Very cool. Yeah. And what about you?
That's goals right there. That's goals right there.
What about you, Matt?
Music's been in my blood my whole life. Started singing as a kid. Ended up being a roadie for a few years. Been into rock most of my life, really into the heavy shit for years. Then we got together and I kind of went back to some root stuff, the Allman Brothers, obviously part of my DNA, and kind of went back into that. And that's when I saw them. Worked a gig with Susan at a festival, I couldn't tell you what year.
What century?
Yeah, exactly.
The last one.
Yeah.
The previous century. Okay.
Um, and then once we got together, I think we've seen all the shows. We talked about it the other day. So I'm at close to 20 as TTB. I think I've missed 2 because of other obligations. So I'm at least 15 shows in with these guys, and it's pretty awesome.
Where are you? Very cool. Where are you right now, Alicia and Matt? Where are
We're
you?
in Cincinnati.
You're in Cincinnati. And where are you, Jack, right now?
I'm in Toronto now since my flight got canceled.
And you normally live where? Where you come from?
I'm from Newfoundland.
Oh my gosh, my mom was born in Newfoundland. My mom was born in Harbor Grace.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Are you? And Erin, you live in
Buffalo.
But your family's Canadian, is that what you said?
My mom's side is very Canadian, yes.
Your mom's side is very so. We got some Canadians on in this episode, which makes sense. The way just following where
oh yeah.
the
Derek
journey.
Trucks used to open up for the Tragically Hip. My dad told me, which I didn't know that, but my Derek Trucks used to open up for the Tragically Hip, I guess, way back. Which is a great Canadian band. I'm an all-time. I love them too. So does my dad.
Alicia, what were you gonna say? I was gonna ask you something. What were you gonna say?
I've seen them.
Yeah.
Between the 2 of us, we literally have seen everybody.
I believe it.
Alive and a lot of the dearly departed. We've seen pretty much them all.
I have that poster.
Ooh,
I got the foil variant.
Yeah, very cool. Alicia, do you have that picture of you with you or whatever, your family with the brothers and sisters album recreation? Do you have it?
I do not. I have been looking for it for years. My mom, when she kept downsizing, and she split up all the pictures and gave different ones to the different children. And so one of us have it somewhere, and I will eventually find it. But I want it so bad. I do have one though. I have the one with me and my brother and my sister dressed up in hee-haw overalls.
You guys are funny.
Y'all know they don't know who hee-haw is.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Do you know, Adam, what hee-haw is?
I suppose not, or if I did, I forgot.
TV show.
It was a country TV show with like Minnie Pearl on it, and Buck Owens and Roy Acuff, and they had guests all the time. It was like a 70s variety.
Johnny Cash was on there.
Yeah, variety show. And it was kind of goofy, but it was a country music variety show based in like Nashville or whatever, with all the Opry musicians.
Google it for a few minutes of entertainment, that's for sure.
Nice. I'll let Erin. Well, we can talk about the poster a little more, and then I'll give Erin the floor to kind of walk us through the experience of this show. But this poster is quite something. There's a lot going on here.
It's very busy, but it's so cool. The more you look, the more you see.
Yeah, I'm going to maybe later this month or in the next few months ingest some kind of psychedelics and then revisit this poster and try to figure out exactly what's going on with this. And I will figure it out, and then I'll explain it to everybody on a podcast, and it will make no sense to anyone. But yeah, I don't even know how to describe it for people listening to this, but it's
like a one-man band. It's like a fly playing. It's ridiculous.
A bass and a guitar. Yeah, you just have to check it out. I have the Guy Burwell or Guy Burwell is the
artist.
The artist.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this.
Yeah, I wrote "This is wild."
It is.
Yeah, but it stands out. You're going to remember this one. But a lot of them, they're all super nice, and all eye of the beholder. I always talk about how I'd love to see them all like displayed in a museum of some sorts, on a wall, or I don't know. Keep talking about this, but if 8x10s are available, that might be more.
Just like the small ones, yeah.
Yeah, postcard size. I could fit that in my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the cell? There it is. I hit the right one here.
There it is. Yep.
Sorry,
Which it was slightly different. They did a slightly different set on stage.
Sure.
A couple different songs, which I mean, you never know what you're gonna get every time you see them. You're always gonna get a cover. You're always gonna get an older song, and you're always gonna get something different. So I love it.
Yeah, woman to woman. Anyhow, do I look worried? I am the moon, gravity, Emmeline. Learn how to love. Keep on smiling. I wish I knew how to be free. Yes, we will. Midnight in Harlem. Walk on gilded splinters. Part of me. Don't think twice. I want more. And the Sly medley. I think was Emmeline cut?
They
No.
didn't play Emmeline.
Yeah, I happen to remember seeing that. Someone else posted or wrote a note somewhere. But
Yeah, they did not do Emmeline, which I love Mike Madison so much. So I was like, oh man, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, super cool set all around though, and I keep talking about the last week or two, like the woman to woman, just how they introduced the show, and I've been starting a bunch of shows with that, with all the vocalists getting.
The guy next to us was like, because they start playing and she doesn't come out right away. He's like, where is she? Where is she? We're just like, just wait, and she comes out and she belts. You know what I mean? It was awesome.
Yeah. Did you guys get woman to woman at your shows?
Nope.
Yeah, it was the first song.
Yeah. We'll get it. Yeah. So you guys feel free to jump in too, even because it's all, we probably have maybe some overlap songs and just for conversational purposes, of course. And we don't have to go through every song one by one. We could jump out or talk about what jumps out at us about the set list or memorable moments. Tell me about the venue also, Erin, and then we'll get back into the music more.
Yeah, the venue, it's a pretty big venue. It's not as big as like Saratoga Springs, but it is an amphitheater, so it was pretty big. But they were set back on the stage a little bit more. It's a big stage. But yeah, the venue is nice. Our air quality's been a little bit weird over here, but it was a good show.
But it must be better if they're putting on shows still, at least. That's a thing.
I remember the Saratoga Springs concert. The air quality was super, super bad, but.
So, Adam, I just sent you a picture I took of the set list last night with the venue behind it in Messenger. So you should.
Cool. Yeah, I'll grab that. Is this I pulled up a picture here of. Is this it? This is it right here.
Yep. Because it's got the two those. I had never been there before this concert, but it's pretty nice.
Yeah, this is not the TTB. I don't think so. It's just a Google picture.
Yeah, but that's the venue.
Yeah. Nice. It looks. Well, and did you have a similar night sky or your magic hour sky?
Yep, pretty beautiful.
While the band was playing, what time? Yeah, it was probably starting to.
It was starting to go down. It was nice during Ziggy.
Yeah, that was probably perfect. Damn, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was there, but now I kind of feel like I was in a lot of ways, and that's the point of the podcast for me, to make it feel like I was at the shows. Let's get into, I guess, the music. I'll pull the set list back up, and we could talk more about that.
I actually studied a little bit. I went on Setlist FM on the drive home and looked at how many times they did which songs and whatnot, and the average openers, and so when you were talking about all the different songs, that we got the same.
But is that accurate? It's not really full of setlist. Setlist.com is helpful, but I think in terms of those stats, there's no way of really knowing if it's like.
Oh no, it's just a general thing. In fact, they said they don't use any partial set lists. So unless it was the full one, they didn't. But I mean, it's fairly accurate in telling you, how many times they've played Gilded Splinters, and I mean, I think it's fairly accurate.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is just super cool. And anyhow, is classic TTB. Do I look worried? Dipping into this is not something that I'm totally sure about, but I'm wondering, do they play one song from all of their original albums every show? Is there
It
anything?
seems like they kind of try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything from Signs
No,
No,
they don't.
on
They
this.
haven't been playing much from Signs.
No, they haven't. What was it? I think I saw one song. I'm drawing a blank on which one it was, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, it's a great album.
It
you
is.
know, but I guess sometimes in the course of playing things, you just let it sit for a while.
She played a bunch of songs from Just Won't Burn, which was released in 1998. I was 2 years old. She played a bunch of songs from that album in Saratoga Springs because her brother was there. And I loved that. I was like, yes, it's great.
So yes, a lot of the early Susan stuff. The Shame would be something they've kind of played a little bit, but they've even cut back on that a little bit this year. And I guess Signs High Times, but that was more earlier this year, and they've kind of cut back on that. Like, yeah, you're right. There haven't been too much Signs. Yeah, no, I love Signs. I thought Signs was a masterpiece, to be honest with you.
So great.
And I said it
is. And I want to say even last year, we saw them 2 or 3 times on the real big support for I Am the Moon. And yeah, it was light back then. I know we heard a couple.
I think it's also the time period it was maybe written and came out. They associate it very much with Kofi, and there's a lot of emotional songs on that album. So I think it is just some things they're just hard to play that they don't play. But I think it's just there's something special about letting it sit. And then like when they bring back some of these Sign songs, like hardcore nutty fans who are keeping tabs on generally what they play from tour to tour are going to get super excited, because I always say that like what I want to hear is like, oh, the thing that they haven't played in a while that I'm not even thinking about. That's what I want to hear.
Yes.
But everything they do is amazing, and you could pick the set list out of a hat, and like just glancing at this one, you get everything, like you said, Erin. You get the covers, you get the originals, you get different combinations of lineups, you get all the vocalists getting their moment.
Gabe did Gravity. Love that. She also did, for the first encore song, she did Can't Make You Love Me, and that's not on here, but that was a surprise. And she kills it every time with that one. Another favorite that she did was Midnight in Harlem. I feel like they play Passaquan quite a bit in their concerts lately, and they didn't do that. And I feel like for that psychedelic, more that feel with like the drum solos and stuff like that, they did Midnight in Harlem instead.
Did they tease? I don't know. This show, I think this show just went up on archive.org. I should pull up whoever. I haven't had a chance to listen to this one, but I did notice in Midnight in Harlem, they teased Derek and maybe even Kebby a little bit. They teased Passaquan. They've been teasing Passaquan before Midnight in Harlem.
That's why I said they didn't play,
Yeah. And they've been doing, I think, especially Derek has been doing a little more of that, like, because they just have so many songs to choose from. And I think it's to keep things fresh and fun and almost like, light or whatever with the audience, and tease us a little bit, because there's just too much to choose from. They can't do everything. So like, maybe we'll eventually get a TTB medley of it's hard. It's too hard to do. It'd be hard to do medleys of TTB songs, because they're all their songs are like such crafted pieces. It's hard to take sections of them or splice them up or chop them up in a medley way. Obviously they have different versions of songs that they're playing, something for television or for something like that. They have 10 different versions of Shame and could extend, the solos out. But in terms of like how these songs are structured, they're very like, precise. There's a lot of precision especially on the original recordings of the music. So it'd be tough to do a TTB medley. But yeah, I mean, what else jumps out at you about this show? And then we'll get on to the next ones for sure soon. Shortly.
It was awesome to see Ziggy's band join Tedeschi Trucks Band at the end for the Sly medley. That was awesome. There was 19 people on stage, and they just the sound and the whole vibe of it all is just so amazing. How they feed off of each other, and they go around, and all the singers get a little taste, and all the guitar players get a little taste, even the piano players. Everyone gets a section to really shine, and I loved it so much.
Yeah, I'm so excited to dig into this show. I haven't had a chance to yet, but yeah, I just can't help but think of Mad Dogs and Englishmen, like when you just say 19 people on the stage, and I think they were surprised, maybe 20 to 30 or something like that. Ultimately, I'm not even sure, but yeah, it just makes it's just so much fun. It's like a circus, but it's also TTB especially to their set is also very tight, but room for improv, and yeah, an emotional set too, like Don't Think Twice and Can't Make You Love Me as well. That's too much.
It was so
that's too much for my soul in one show. Don't Think Twice and It Can't right near each other. What are you trying to do to me?
I know.
No, you get everything. You get everything, like the whole range of emotions with this band and their music. That's and even humor and fun and you get the whole thing for sure. Shall we move on to the next one here? That was not that one.
That one.
It was Rochester?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it was Toronto was the
Toronto was next, yeah.
Toronto was next. Toronto was, I got the poster somewhere. I thought I did. Well, that's the set list.
I got it here. How about a file?
Yeah, it's somewhere. Oh, no, here it is. There it is. So this one had the fly. What's with the flies?
It's like a cicada.
It's a cicada, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's sweet.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean in a negative way, but I meant like another another like sort of post.
So unique, yeah.
We need another poster, like I need a hole in the head, so I try to not pay too much attention to them anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting details in this. I'm looking on a second monitor if it looks like I'm looking to the side, but yeah, there's a lot of unique details on this one as well. Like it pops, certainly.
Yeah. Was there a floral variant on that one?
Yeah, I got it.
I bet that is beautiful in a foil.
I got it right here next to me. I'll holler it for you.
Oh, let's see it.
Yeah, that one's very Art Deco.
I like that.
Nouveau Deco-ish.
Oh, you don't have it framed yet? What's up?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like gold.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not home yet. I can't frame it.
I know that.
You have other posters? Do you have a lot of other posters?
No, this is my first show, so didn't really.
Oh, this was your first TTB show ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Get the fuck, he's for real? Damn, that's super exciting. I didn't even know.
Front row too, you said, right?
No, right in the front, right by the gate.
Right in front of Gabe, you said?
Yeah.
Damn, that's super cool. First show ever, so we gotta talk about this. Damn. And you've been listening to them since you don't even remember, because you don't even remember how the hell was it you or your dad or Midnight in Harlem or whatever it was. You're not even totally sure what the first moment. Yeah. Super cool. Yeah, let's tell me about the venue.
It was really nice. I really liked it.
Budweiser stage.
Budweiser stage, yeah.
If I'm not Googling the pictures while we're talking live, am I really doing the podcast right? Is that, it was another similar sort of amphitheater. It looks like outdoor grass setup.
They actually had the lawn shut down. They didn't sell tickets for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
How many people were in the pavilion then?
There was a lot of people at the end of the night. It was full.
Now, is this your first concert ever, or just your first TTB show?
First TTB, I seen ZZ Top and Cheap Trick in St. John's last year.
Cool.
St. John's.
Yeah.
Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. We're international. This podcast is international. I spoke to some people from overseas, certainly. Let's see here. Here, I got a picture. This is not the TTB show, but I got the right place here.
Good looking place.
Yeah, that's right place.
That's with the grass. So just this inner area was totally packed. That's cool though.
Yeah, yeah.
It almost feels like a general admission, kind of like
where I was. I was in the pit.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That reminds me of our venue here called River Bend, and they have a pavilion and a big lawn, but that's where like the big, concerts go. And so a few years ago, they built a smaller pavilion next to it that's all under awning. And how many does it seat? More like
4,500.
4,500. And that's where TTB plays. So I can see where this is just kind of big. I can see where they've shut down the lawn for that, because underneath it probably holds several thousand people in itself.
Yeah.
I believe they shut the lawn down because they didn't think they'd sell them. The tickets were going for like $6.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, nobody would buy them.
Wow.
Yeah.
We paid the most ever for these Indianapolis tickets. They were ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Worth it.
They were worth it.
Worth it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about, I guess, Ziggy played as well at your show.
Ziggy played. Yeah, he was excellent.
Yeah.
You got the Rastaman chant. That is that is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
heard a couple of versions, and some YouTube. I don't think I watched this one yet, or I haven't really looked at any footage or listened to anything of this show yet. I'll have to dig in.
I keep checking. I don't think anything's out for it yet.
What about on YouTube? I bet somebody must have got something.
I hope so, because
those people that we yell at the show, when they're at the show, like, this fucking guy with his phone. You're being that guy. God, who do you think you are? Concert photographers down in front, and then 2 days later, I'm like digging for the videos. It's probably the guy who I got mad at 48 hours ago.
I always call him Spielberg.
Yeah, yeah. Then you get mad at them for not doing a good job enough. It's like, God, how come you were shaking it? Well, you were yelling at me to put the phone down while I was trying to do it. Ziggy's been super great. I want to dig into more of his sets on either I don't know if there's any full audio, or even obviously probably some stuff on YouTube I can dig in beyond just the stuff that has been on stage with TTB, because I dig that whole genre and what he's all about, and of course big fan of his father as well.
Yeah. He sounds like him. Looks like him.
I haven't really even talked about Bob Marley too much on this latest run of shows, or even brought up his name, because it's almost assumed that everyone loves this guy and all his music and is a fan to some degree. So it's obligatory that everyone loves Bob Marley and is a fan of tons of his songs, all of his songs, or at the very least, his big hits, certainly.
Yeah.
No, that was a
Tell me what it was like when the band TTB took the stage. Well, we kind of talked about Woman to Woman, but for you personally, to see them live, a band that you've been a fan of your whole life,
really, really good. I was taking pictures of all our amps and everything before they came in, because I really like the Alessandros he uses, and then watch them all get set up, watch them come out through the doors, and then as soon as they come out, they went right into it. Nothing before, they just went right into the song. And I was looking for Susan first, and then she came out and started singing. I was blown away. It was a great concert. Great.
Yeah, Woman to Woman, Statesboro Blues, Playing with My Emotions, Ain't That Something, Here My Dear, Fallen, Part of Me, Just Won't Burn, Keep on Smiling, Made Up Mind, Heartbreaker, I Want More with Bex Bolero, Angel from Montgomery, perhaps with a Sugary in there, maybe.
Yeah, Sugary was there. Yeah,
There you go, Bound for Glory, The Storm into Whipping Post. I really hope we get
that
some,
was really
some
good.
of that.
Cool. That must have been awesome.
It's when she does the Whipping Post vocals on it, it's like
Wow.
show stopping, it's like goosebumps, all that, and you really feel like you're, I don't know, like just listening to her when they do the Storm and Whipping Post. I feel like this could be any time. Like I get that same feeling that I get when I listen to the Allman Brothers and Greg Allman sing those lyrics, and the same like haunting, powerful. It's just, they just capture the spirit of all the music that they cover, but at the same time make it their own. And more often than not, almost always, probably always, take it to some otherworldly next level.
Yeah, Derek was playing so hard he busted a string right in the Whipping Post. So
did he change it on stage or get a new guitar?
He changed. He got Bobby brought him a new guitar.
He went. I went for
Rostman chant.
I see. That maybe that's why, because it was near the encore. You got guests coming on. There's a lot of things happening. Let's just get to a new guitar. I'm not sure what the strategy. What the strategy fully was with that, but tell me about anything that jumps out at you about the show, the set, your experience. I'll give you the floor to do that. I mean, Woman to Woman, the Statesboro Blues is a super powerful way to start the show. Certainly,
I was really hoping to meet him since it was my first show. It never happened. Never got to meet him.
Any of the band, you mean, or Derek?
Any of them, really.
Yeah.
I really wanted to meet Derek. I even got his guitar tattooed on my arm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
He seen it around the midway through the show, gave me a thumbs up, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's meeting.
Yeah.
That's close enough.
That's cool.
Dude, that is meeting, because it's an interaction. He's just on a stage and he's just at work. You met him while he was at work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And at the end of, I believe, Whipping Post, one of my buddies next to me, Derek actually tossed him a slide, so he went home with Derek's slide to use in the next show.
Yeah, you're gonna get at that eventually if you just go to more shows or just
120 in. We still haven't met him, and we still don't have a slide. We got set list and a couple picks.
Yeah.
Good.
You will.
I hope they do more shows in Canada, because I got a couple of health issues and can't leave Canada. So any concert they do, I'll be front row anyway.
Yeah. Well, I hear he has more than one. There are some to spare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, because I know that you're a slide player, so I'm sure that would be you would use it.
I have a signature slide anyways. It wasn't played by him.
Yeah, it's the same.
He played the same one. Yeah.
Right.
From Dunlop. Yeah.
Right. What else about the show? Your experience?
Well, the concert was at 7, and I lined up around 12 o'clock just to be the first one in, get the merch, and get to my spot.
What time did the gates open?
6:30.
6:30, and you were there at noon?
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Dude, you guys all deserve slides. Alicia Matt, and you get your own also.
Yeah. And the day before, they were in the parking lot over next to the venue in their vans. My mom came with me. She tried to go up and knock on the door, but I wouldn't let her.
Dude, that's when you would have met them.
You
should.
I kind of regret it now.
It's a tough. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. I get that. What's too much, and what's this is my only. You have to balance. This could be my only chance versus I'm annoying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fine line. You don't want to be a stalker, but we noticed that they have 2 days off between Indy, which is 2 hours away, and Cincinnati, where we're at. So like, what are they doing for 2 days? Are they hanging here in Cincinnati? And we have a friend who owns a guitar shop, Mike's Music, and he sells to everybody. Almost anybody that comes through town goes to his shop. So we're gonna be stocking the music store.
Yeah, there's ways. Yeah, there is a strategy to this to some degree. Go to the music store. What's the bar that has like the best bourbon in town or something like that for Derek, or like there's a I guess that's the only two things I could think of off the top of my head.
I would be just
go to
happy.
good rest. Yeah.
I would be happy if they just liked something of mine on Instagram that I tagged them in or something. Like, I would just be happy with that.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, and I've definitely appreciated every gesture from the band, and however small or big, like that I've experienced personally just from doing this podcast over the last few years. Like that all means a lot to me. Every gesture, nod from the stage at not a tattoo, but whatever, all that, those little interactions and their time. And that's like the best thing about this band is that one of the best things, of course, is that they are so at least from afar, and everyone I've talked to, so down to earth and just friendly and nice and all that. And down to the crew, not everyone, you guys haven't got maybe the slide, but you got the set lists and that's super cool, and the crew is awesome as well.
Yeah,
I got the set list Ziggy almost tripped over because his footprint's all over it.
His footprint's on mine too. That's so funny.
He almost tripped on it. It was pretty funny.
That's the what do you call it? The certificate. That's the authentic.
It's the authentic.
Yeah, that's the proof
I don't
of
know if you can see
authenticity.
it. Let me.
Yep.
Can you see it there? I don't know if you can see the footprint.
No, I can't.
No,
really.
It's around right there.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
could try to.
So you had a heck of a first show, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a great show.
Awesome.
Yeah, I pretty much bought out the whole merch store too. So
They did
that
the
happens.
storm too. Cool.
Yeah, keep on smiling. That's been a great addition to the set list. For sure. The cover, it is hard not to smile and not be uplifted by like I keep saying, you get the whole range of emotions and the whole range of a lot of different genres too, and this show is a TTB show it's like the opposite of something being one note. It's peaks and valleys and moments. You have Keep on Smiling that makes you feel a certain way that is good, and then you have the Storm and Whipping Post, which is a whole nother totally different experience. But at the end of that, you feel I don't know, just at the end of a show, even it's just such a release, an emotional.
You're wore out at the end of their session.
Yes,
you are physically and emotionally wore out.
Yeah,
correct, but spiritually uplifted. But you went through some kind of spiritual journey in your mind, in your soul, in your body, in your heart. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, and then I'm just glancing and just saying what jumps out at me just from some of the different versions of these songs I've heard. But the Beck's Bolero, that's just some otherworldly stuff.
That was really cool when they went into that. I wasn't expecting it.
It's a triumph. It's triumphant sounding, like Derek on that guitar. And I think I don't know, there's something he takes music so seriously, and maybe not himself seriously all the time, but takes the music seriously, especially when they're doing covers and something that's really a direct tribute to someone who passed or somewhat recently. It means a lot to Derek, doing this song. And I think I keep thinking that the fact that they went to the Jeff Beck tribute show overseas and are putting his music more into their sets now. It's just something I hear. I feel like I hear more in their playing and even just some of the stuff that Susan's even playing and singing, and the way she's presenting her vocal and her guitar, doing more call and response stuff that almost sounds like something Jeff Beck might do with her vocal and her guitar when she does some soloing and things like that. I especially remember on Yes We Will, which is not in this set list, but nevertheless, but like when she does solos, an outro solo on that song, it's like I'm like, that sounds like something like maybe some Jeff Beck, like that's what she picked up on, that like going high with the voice, low on the guitar, low on the voice, high with the guitar, like the whole call and response just on her own is just like something about that sounds super cool.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
talented,
We Will
these
has
people.
got to be one of my favorite songs off of I Am the Moon. I love Yes We Will.
Yeah.
So good.
It sounds, I mean, all their songs have a timeless quality to them. And especially I'm the Moon stuff, but Yes We Will, it sounds like she's gives sets a tribute to BB King and with the style and all that. But it makes me think of, it does make me think of kind of Buddy Guy too a little bit, and could be a blues song from the 80s or 70s, or it almost sounds like it could be a cover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's Yes We Will. It sounds like it could be a cover, but it's like, it's just, their music is just so timeless, so powerful. This is a great set list. Fallen has just been awesome what they do with that. I'm sure Derek extended it. Like, sometimes I feel like they don't even know how to end it. They don't want to end it because it's just such a fun song that Derek just keeps digging in and dipping in for seconds and thirds. They slow it down, rev it back up, slow it down, rev it back up, and before you know it, you got a 10-minute and fall in, but you don't even feel like it. It's just another one of those like feel good tunes, like a Keep on Smiling. It's like such a good balance throughout the set list. Like, you get your fall ins and your Made Up Minds and Keep on Smilings and I Want More. And you get like heavier, more emotional stuff like the Beck's Boleros and the Whipping Posts and Hear My Dear even is more of a ballad as well. So you just get every note. They cover like all their bases.
I think it's really interesting on that set that they go from woman to woman, and then Statesboro is the second song. That's pretty ballsy, I think.
Yeah.
That's got some guts.
It's like, even though Susan doesn't start woman to woman, she ultimately owns that song, I think. Once she takes that stage, and certainly vocally as well with Statesboro, it's just powerful. Like, you get Susan power, a lot of Susan power just to start off the show, and that works.
Yes, that's what we want.
Anything else on this set? I'll try to keep the train moving along.
I'll say one last thing before I forget. They didn't play Midnight, which I was pretty upset about because they played it in their sound check.
Yeah, so you did. So you heard it.
I heard it. They kept playing the same part over again, but they never played the full song.
Yeah,
around. What song was it? Around Keep on Smiling, when they got out of that, they sort of played the beginning of it, him and Kebby, but then they went into Made Up Mind.
Yeah,
they
teased. You got a Midnight and tease. That's kind of mean though. I'm not sure how I feel about that, especially for like a one-time city in Canada that doesn't get the band very often to tease Midnight in Harlem.
Decades since they last been here.
That's an anti-Canadian thing to do. They wouldn't do that. You think they would tease Midnight in Jacksonville or something like that?
Right.
You guys are the ones who need the Midnight, who don't get the shows often, super often. But honestly, I probably wouldn't even notice if it was missing from a set list until someone brings it up after, just because the music is also so awesome. And it's like in the parking lot, you know what, they forgot to, or they didn't play Midnight in Harlem. I feel like that would be something that I would notice. I'm gonna pull up the poster for the Rochester one real quick, and we'll just glance at that set list. You might as well. This one's a little bit different than it's. I wonder if this is the foil or the one, the glow in the dark one. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but it's like a guitar and a.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm done describing posters on podcasts. You guys just have to look up this stuff. Hannah Tatum is the artist on this one, and on the the other one for Toronto was Hazard Press was who put that one out as well. Yeah, this one's pretty.
It is.
Shiny object. Eyes like shiny object.
Yeah.
It seems like in some ways there's like a connection between some of these posters just in the design, even though they're from different artists. There seems to be some kind of. I wonder if they look at recent ones. I got to get more poster artists on the podcast to like to talk about like the process. How much are they look at what the band has done, familiar with the music, familiar with people and the members of the band or representatives of the band to get ideas, or how much of the symbolism are they familiar with? How much of the meanings of the symbolism
What's
are they
the
familiar
inspiration?
with? Right.
This one reminds me a little bit of an old Christmas Jam poster that is the blues and whites because it's Christmas Jam, and it's got the guitar strings coming down like that and some woods. Now I don't think it has the moon and the clouds, but like, do you know what I'm talking about, honey? Like it might have been like it was several years ago, but when you brought this up before, that's what came to mind now, and it could be the same artist. I don't know. I don't follow any particular artist, I guess, except maybe the Steinman. Erin, is that a Steinman pin on your? Is that a TTB buffalo on your hat?
Oh no, we've got some little bugs. We've got some butterflies. I wood burned the side of it. No.
Okay.
This is a moon inside the guitar here. It took me I think that's what that is right here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah, it's a really great poster.
So much creativity in these. Like I don't know where they. Obviously, I get where they get the moon and some of the the ideas for what specific images they might want to incorporate, but how to assemble them into these designs, I can't. It's like so creative.
Yeah.
How they assemble
we
these.
do know a rock concert artist we can hook you up with if you want to interview one. I don't know if he's done TTB though.
I don't.
Yeah. Let me know when he's done TTB.
We'll check with me.
He does a lot of mule.
Dude, it's fun. It's funny how I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk to that artist, but if someone like is a janitor at the venue that like that TTB and managed to hear like half a set, I'll be like, yo, you heard half that set? Tell me about that experience of mopping the bathroom and overhearing heavy saxophone or something like that. We'll get into that. That's where we're at. I got a picture here pulled up of the Rochester Hills, Michigan show. It's Brandon holding the set list here that the band shared on their social media. Don't know what it means. The letter, let me get by, feel so bad, take me as I am, part of me here, my dear, why does love gotta be so sad? Anyhow, idle wind, come and go blues, got my mojo working, I want more, Beck's Bolero, how blue can you get, I wish I knew how to be free, and then the encore, soul sweet song, and let's go get stoned. I hope this, I mean, I say this is obligatory, but I hope this obviously gets finds its way onto archive.org as well. Don't know what it means in the letter. We haven't gotten that too much this year. I don't know if we've gotten any don't know what it means this year, and maybe the letter once or twice on its own or something like that, if I recall. But yeah, that's don't know what it means. Just again, something that they played over and over and over again, like for probably at least a few years at a lot of shows. It never really left the set list from what I gather, and they kind of like gave it a little bit of break, and then you bring it back and it feels super duper fresh, I'm sure, to people who went to this show and to fans who hadn't heard it in a while. I want to listen to it because the band is probably not the same exact band, at least like because they continue to keep on growing. They keep on growing, I guess. And so for them to like revisit a song they haven't played in a while, it sounds different. Like you guys ever go back and listen to like, or even just randomly something comes up from like 2012 TTB, and then you'll hear a version of a song that they've been playing a bunch lately. It's like, oh, that sounds totally different. Not bad, but it's just like totally different. It's like, firstly, it's like, where's Alicia? You notice, like, you don't hear her. It's just not as full of a sound.
She's amazing.
It's not as full of a harmony sound with the three of them. And it sounds different without an additional female vocalist, mixed in there. Like, it's just, better. It's better with Alicia.
Yeah, she's so good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, and just Come and Go Blues as well with Gabe on vocal. That's a one that's just they brought out for the summer tour, a new one. That's great.
Coming
does.
Go and the Mojo. That's a really good back to back.
Yeah,
That's pretty solid.
such a great tribute and homage to the Allman Brothers and the blues artists of the past. Muddy Waters, right? It's Muddy originally is Mojo Walking. Mojo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna confirm that because you never know. Sometimes they don't even know who the hell wrote these songs.
Well,
Blues song written by Preston Red Foster, first recorded by R&B singer Ann Cole in 1956.
You always learn new
That's what I
songs with
said.
these announcers.
Oh, that is what you said?
I know.
Sometimes I don't pay attention. My brain is in a totally different place, and I'm googling stuff. I forget. Am I live on the air with other humans right now? I'm not just going down some rabbit hole. To give us all credit, the Muddy Waters version I think was probably the most popular or well-known version. I guess that I would assume. What the hell do I know? But yeah, this is a great set. Take Me As I Am is such an emotional, tender ballad that I especially love. Like I can't complain about any of these songs. Yeah, you guys weren't there, so you can't describe it. I'm ready for you guys to tell me about how was Idle Wind. We can move up. Why don't we move on to Indy?
Is that even a question? How was Idle Wind?
I bet it was horrible.
Yeah, it sucked. Oh, here we go. We got the poster it almost looks like a playing card with also guitars and almost you have some of these butterfly, insecty plant sort of kaleidoscope. This looks more kaleidoscope psychedelic style. So I'm getting good at describing posters. I can do it. It's hard enough to describe music. I'm describing music and posters. Oh man, I need a thesaurus.
The two look very well. The color scheme is basically
similar.
the same
as the previous one. That's what made me think of are they looking at recent artists' posters and sort of connecting the tour to them in some ways. Maybe the band is planning something with these posters because there does seem to be some overlapping themes and connections. Maybe they are going to use them for some sort of bigger display. I also just made that up on the spot right now, so I really.
Who's the artist on this one?
Oh yeah, Dan, thank you for reminding me. Nate Duval or Duval. I'm Duval.
It could also be some of these artists get together and they buy ink in bulk and save a bunch of money and use the same colors.
Could be.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Economic reason. I'm coming up with all these creative reasons. And meanwhile, it's that shit saved us money.
Well, we do. I work for an art company, and the artists make the art, but it's digitized. So then, if the client doesn't like that coloring, we can change it to a softer, more pastel or blues or whatever. So who's to say that was really the original coloring? Maybe TTB said, "Oh, let's make this blue like the other one's blue." And then they can it's computerized, digitized. So they just change the colors.
Yeah.
Same images, but just, change the coloring or whatever to suit them. So, there's that too. I mean, the client can.
That looks familiar.
Yeah. That's the venue right behind from our hotel room.
Yeah, I'm going to get a better picture here. There we go. That one's a little sharper. I was sharing the thumbnail version before. Tell me about this place, the venue and arriving and all that stuff and the whole experience. And then we'll get into the music.
It's not too far away for us. It's 2 hours. We typically see something there about once a year at least. This particular venue, Matt hasn't been to. I went to maybe 10, 15 years ago and saw Phil and Friends there. But it was really kind of a different venue. It was rebuilt during the pandemic. So everything's new and fresh, and that's when the TCU people took over. We have no idea who they are. But the logo on their shirts said TCU and Live Nation. So assuming it's all in cahoots, I don't know. But clearly the hotels are really close. It's right next to Lucas Stadium and the baseball field. So it's right downtown, in a, expensive downtown area. And we thought, because we can see the venue, let's just go right there. And we went about 10 minutes before the show, and the line was long.
What it was is security coming in. Because once we got in, we saw like all the old school metal detectors were all pushed off to the side. They had one single new device that they were using to scam people. So the doors opened at 6, and we got there at about 10 till 7. I think we'd walk right in, go to our seats right in time for Ziggy, and the line was almost back to our hotel, and it took us. We missed part of Ziggy. We were still waiting to get in. It was some weird contraption they wanted people to walk through, and
but
that sucks. That's annoying.
no, I don't. I have an implant, so I can't go through anything. I just have to get patted down. So.
Yeah, but otherwise, security was really easy. I mean, they barely looked in my purse or anything, and then we got to our seats, and they were nice. They were cushioned. We had nice third row on the aisle because I like to dance, and so nobody. I can move around, and Gilded Splinters just took me like, wow. It was a high energy opener that I was not expecting to hear that as an opener, and I don't know what else do you have.
Yeah, it was this show was great. Gilded Splinters, Do I Look Worried? I Am the Moon, Ain't That Something? Life is Crazy, Playing with My Emotions, Keep on Smiling, Circles Around the Sun, Dreams, Little by Little, Midnight in Harlem, Gravity, Angel from Montgomery, Maybe with Sugaree, Heartbreaker. Made Up Mind was the set, and then Rastaman Chant with Ziggy for the encore and Sly medley as well. With I'm guessing a whole bunch of people. This show is up now. Was posted, so I actually did listen to a chunk of it. I didn't hear every song, and I was like looking at the clock, and I was listening to Dreams. I'm like, there's not enough time. I'm not gonna finish Dreams before I gotta get on and do this song.
Gabe is just amazing on that song. He owns it. He does fantastic on it.
And it's interesting that they put Dreams after Circles, because Passaquan has obviously been taking that spot a lot of the times.
Which we didn't get. I was kind of bummed about.
Yeah,
right.
I was bummed I didn't get it either.
I don't get it in Cincinnati on Tuesday. I'll be writing a letter to Susan.
Oh boy. Well, she's not on that. She's not on Passaquan.
Yeah, write it to Derek instead.
No, I'm going to the boss. I mean,
the boss. Yeah, the matriarch. Yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, one of the biggest things that we talked about and noticed was the whole production. I mean, obviously, it's not the Wheels of Soul tour. We don't have that many acts, but there's no video screen. Everything was stripped down. But it's all about the music.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit different. It was a little bit more bared bones, but of course we're there for the music. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Circles they've really drug that out, and Kebby had a monster solo, and he was losing his mind. His sunglasses flew off his head, and he didn't miss his feet. Oh man, it was very. We're under, obviously it's dusk and at night, but it was very hot and humid last night, where to the point where you just couldn't. It was hard to breathe. You couldn't drink enough water, and of course you're not leaving to go get water. You want water. You think you're going to die, but you're not about to leave to go get water. You just deal with it.
Right. Even Susan, I listened to the show again today too. And Susan mentions how hot and humid it is. It was pretty nasty.
Yeah, damn. Stay safe out there. I'm still thinking about that 10-minute Circles, because I forget what show I listened to from last week's batch of TTB shows, but I did notice the same thing, that they extended Circles, lots of
wonderful.
wild Kebby things going on Circles. And I think maybe they're, again, like they're able to, like I said, it's hard to trim them into a medley, but they can have some different versions and styles and different solos and different lengths of songs depending on how much they want to draw them out. And that's kind of what they're doing with, I think, Circles, is separating it from Passaquan a little bit, making it long, extending it a little bit, and making it more of its own thing as well, going through a little phase or an evolution of the band where Circles is being extended, separated from Passaquan, and maybe, unfortunately for you guys, perhaps giving Passaquan a little bit of a rest from the tour.
Now,
it is a beast to play, especially for
yes. Now,
drummers,
we
from what I
did get
understand.
probably the best version of anything ever. We got a Passaquan at the Ryman that was probably 20 minutes long that changed my life. It was amazing. So, I still want to hear it again, though.
Yeah,
The Ryman,
that brings me to the Angel. I mean, it's always obviously amazing, but it wasn't the best Angel. I mean, but we've been to some iconic venues. We've seen them at Red Rocks a few times.
Wow.
And the Ryman a few times. So that they really rock it out usually, more so at those great venues.
yeah. Well, it sounds like once you got in, this was a pretty good venue. Once you got in.
Oh, yeah.
The venue wasn't bad. It was just a hiccup getting in the door, really.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's annoying, though.
That
That gives me anxiety, just like, and I'm not really, I don't have like any clinical anxiety or anything like that, but that gives me anxiety, like thinking about being like out, stuck outside and wanting to be in it, but like totally out of your control. That just stinks. But little by little, I've noticed that's something that you haven't been getting too much. So that's a fun little addition.
Setlist said that Little by Little, I think, was the only one they've played this tour. Now I was just looking at the tour, not the year.
Yeah, the summer tour so far, I don't think there's been a Little by Little. I don't recall seeing that.
Yeah, so I thought that was special. Now, I thought, because I hadn't been looking at the set list, I just wanted to be surprised, when I got there. And I was really pleased with Keep On Smiling. I was dancing my butt off, and Heartbreaker was really jamming. And then I saw they're playing those a lot. But I mean, they were good at them. They did a really good job with both of those. I mean, there's never a bad TTB show.
No.
Never.
Heartbreaker just builds and builds, and it just kind of grows. Like it starts off kind of like a little bit like mysterious in a way, and Mike eases his way into a song with his own style. And it doesn't, like, I keep saying it, but it doesn't, like, it's a very different thing from the Stones, but it's also, it captures the spirit of the song, and it's a great tribute to the song itself. But it just builds and builds, and it has such energy. Like ultimately, and obviously Derek does phenomenal things as that song builds and builds, and really brings his own style and energy. I keep thinking, like, it has such great energy, this song. I'm a huge Stones fan, so I love that anytime they bring out any of the songs, and a lot of it's Mike's influence in the band and his apparent love for the Rolling Stones, and he always picks great songs and not always the most what you would expect in some regard, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rastaman chant was beautiful. We have as you said earlier, I mean, who doesn't love Bob Marley? And we have a special place in our heart for Jamaica. We spend a lot of time there. And so that was really special and really nice. And I had actually seen Ziggy before. So that wasn't my first time seeing him, but he put on a great show. His singers were phenomenal. They had a lot of energy. His band was great.
Yeah, everyone's like has such positive things to say about him as an opener for TTB. And like, I can't think of I could think of other bands I like, of course, but like in terms of like bands that have opened for TTB or toured with them, I'm like, that's a super cool, matchup that I would be super excited to go see.
They usually always have somebody great with them.
Yeah, definitely. And they introduced you to so many new artists, and I from what I understand, Ziggy was bringing out a fair amount of his own fans to
They
the
had there was
shows.
a
I've
good turnout
noticed
for him last night.
people
for
with
sure.
people wearing Ziggy shirts and whatnot. You see him getting support. People coming out just to see him, which is cool too. So maybe some newer TTB fans getting a chance to see TTB live. Yeah, this is just stellar all around. What else you got? Anything else you got on this set
Got
list about the
to,
experience?
with our seats. I mean, we were literally our point of view, especially when we stood up. And we've had seats before where, because we're more on the Gabe side, but we're close, we don't really. And the way Derek always plays facing Susan, you never see him. We've spent an entire show, and we might see Derek's face like that one time, but we were where we're sitting. We had perfect frame shot of Derek and Susan pretty much the whole show. And when she was going into I Am the Moon, we made eye contact and we sung together. And it was beautiful. It was pretty cool.
I will also note, because I always wait on the set list. That's one of my things. And they usually give out picks and the slide, and they didn't give out anything extra last night. The set list were it for the night. But there was when we walked past. So obviously, when you wait for the set list, you're getting kicked out by security. They're always, it's time to go now. It's time to go now, because you're waiting on whatever scraps the crew will give you. And there was a nice line of people who were getting to do a meet and greet, and we saw Mike peek his head out the door and was waving so many people, to come back. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, sounds like fun experiences all around. Everyone had great times overall, and had great music, and I don't know. This band just keeps going to another level. I don't even know how, but they are. It's just like just being together and playing together, and I think I keep coming back to this seems like some kind of golden age for Tedeschi Trucks. This lineup seems like it's pretty. Set in. They're locked in. They've been together this 12 for at least a couple of years officially, if not longer at this point.
Yeah, Gabe's a really good addition. I actually saw him at a funk festival, I think it was called, in Bean Blossom, Indiana. 15 years ago or something. So I was hip to Gabe a long time ago, and when he joined, I was like, sweet. He was so cool. The festival actually got shut down because the promoters didn't pay anybody, and he stayed and paid for free and played for free for people. So wow. I've always had him on my radar of that's a cool dude.
Very cool stuff all around. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Anything else we need to cover or mention, or that you guys want to mention about TTB, your experiences? I'll kind of give you guys the floor. I've taken up, I know, a lot of your time. It's a little bit getting a little later Sunday night.
Cincinnati show Tuesday, so if you want to
for
that one for you.
You know what? I haven't posted it yet, but I think I'm thinking maybe same time, same place next Sunday, because I know they have other shows that week. I'm kind of
I think we probably be okay with that.
Yeah, either I've been doing either 7 p.m. Eastern time or 9 p.m. Eastern time, depending on what's best for everyone and my availability and all that. But that's kind of what I'm trying to do, because it makes the most sense, I think, to just recap the week of shows and do a little Sunday night recap. And I think that's for the next few weeks as well. We'll see. I'll get something going for Red Rocks too. Yeah, guys, keep me posted if you're going to more shows. Thank you again, Erin, Jack, Alicia, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Adam.
Yes. Nice to meet you guys.
You
Have fun at the show on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Cincinnati. Peace, guys. So there you go. Episode 126 with Erin, Jack, Alicia, Matt, recapping this past week of TTB shows. Hope everyone is doing okay out there. Please check out at Tedeschi Trucks Podcast on Instagram. Follow the show. That's appreciated. Subscribe on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, iTunes, Spotify, all that. Subscribe on YouTube, adamchoit.com for all my personal stuff, TedeschiTrucksPodcast.com for everything related to this show. TedeschiTrucksBand.com is their official website. Buy the merch, buy tickets, join the Swamp Family fan club, download the app, do all that stuff. Thank you to the band, the crew, guests of this show, the people listening, the people watching. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got for today. I appreciate it again. Thank you. And yeah, let's I'm pulling up the outro here. Let's talk soon. Peace.